Whitney Houston is on her way home. At this moment, a private plane carrying the body of one of America's blazing stars back to the church in Newark, New Jersey, where it all began. Her funeral expected there later this week. She started as a choir girl with a voice that rained out holy fire, becoming the supernova who would break the sound barrier again, all the while battling her drugs, her alcohol, and her fear. So what happened in the end? ABC's Jim Mavala is with us now to tell us what we've learned tonight about how Whitney Houston died in that hotel room at the age of 48. Jim?
Diane, Beverly Hills police have put a hold on the autopsy results and refused to release the 9/11 tapes, the 911 tapes of the call from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here. But they have allowed the coroner's office to release Whitney Houston's body to her family this weeks before any kind of decision on the cause of death can be reached. The LA County coroner released Whitney Houston's body today, and she is on the way home to New Jersey on a private jet. The autopsy complete, fluids taken for toxicology reports, but results not expected for at least 8 weeks. And while sources tell ABC News there were no signs of trauma or foul play on her body, no visible trace of illegal drugs, there were prescription bottles in the bathroom where Houston was found in the tub. And as seen in these photos obtained by TMZ, alcohol in the room, both champagne and beer. Still, that's not enough evidence for medical examiners to declare a definitive cause of death.
No matter what medications they're taking, until we run a tox and see the level and what's in the system, we're not going to speculate.
At the Beverly Hilton Hotel today, the singer's entourage moved out. Sources tell ABC News many are being questioned about Houston's last hours, but police insist this is not a homicide investigation.
At this time, we're conducting a death investigation, and we need to be very clear about that. We do not know the cause of death. We don't know the circumstances leading up to her death.
Here's what we do know about those circumstances. Thursday night, Whitney Houston danced and partied at a Hollywood nightclub. Pictures show her sweaty and disheveled, one leg bloody. Friends say she was drinking champagne. Friday, Houston is seen skipping around the Beverly Hilton lobby, somersaulting at the pool. Again, her clothes in disarray and her hair wet, as she awkwardly interrupts a press interview conducted by
I do 2 hours a day.
She looked bad. Her clothes didn't match. Some people said she smelled of alcohol.
On Saturday, Houston talked by phone with her cousin and godmother Dionne Warwick and her mother Sissy. And minutes later, she went into the bathroom to prepare for a performance scheduled for the music business elite at Clive Davis's pre-Grammy party. She died alone, her body discovered by her entourage submerged in the tub. She was not breathing, she had no pulse, and could not be revived. 24 hours later, the music industry she once dominated honored her at the Grammys, an award she won 6 times. And even today, after her sudden death, 7 of the top 10 albums sold on Amazon.com are hers. Now, police and coroner's investigators do know the types of drugs that were found inside the bathroom, the prescription drugs, including Valium and an antibiotic. What they don't know are the levels in her body, and that, of course, is key, Diane.
That's right, Jim. And with all these unanswered questions, I want to bring in ABC's Chief Health and Medical Editor, Dr. Richard Besser. Rich, 8 to 10 weeks until they have these tests released?
Well, that's a long time. The LA Coroner's Office told me 8 to 10 weeks is their standard practice. But I talked to medical examiners around the country, and they say the actual testing takes 2 to 3 days. Add a little time to double check that. Many say they will hold the results if there's a possible criminal investigation. And
how to tailor these results? Can you tell how recently she had, what amount of alcohol or anything else?
You can tell some of that. You can tell, the big causes of death, heart attack, stroke, where there's a clot to the lung. You can see if there's been alcohol consumption recently or cocaine use recently. Drug use that goes way beyond that, it depends on the particular drug.
Today, earlier, you were saying to me, when someone of her age dies in a bathtub, that is extremely unusual. Older people, younger people, perhaps, but we don't know if it was drowning, but the very fact of it is so unusual.
That's right. Those other groups will drown. Someone who's 48, it's very rare to see drowning unless there was something else involved.